Bears fans, YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Bears Fans Talk. Johnny CMD here as always with the main event, Kevin Haggerty. If you are new here, we put out weekly-ish videos about the Bears and the miserable season, the miserable organization, and some stuff around the NFL. We're about to head into our off-season.
I was going to say, for those new here, we used to do this every week.
Yes.
Regularly.
Yes.
And had a lot of fun with it. And we are in our worst-case scenario right now.
We really are. At least this time last year, the Bears were actually not. I guess I think it was probably the bubble was blown at this point. But that Browns game against Flacco
had the
last
opportunity.
year, we had the opportunity. Like we were in the hunt. That graphic was there. We were. It was the Bears going in, and we are on a 10-game losing streak. Yeah. Still not in a good position in the draft boards. Still.
Well, the parity in the NFL is completely.
This is like maybe the worst I've ever seen.
That's what I'm saying. There's no parity. Like it is so top heavy and so bottom heavy or inverse, right? So like it is unbelievable right now.
But anyway, if you're new here, please like, comment, and subscribe. Creeping up in terms of our subscribers.
Yeah,
it's still happening. Every once in a while, we get people trickling in, but we haven't gotten any comments really in a little while. Outside of my aunt, who's Susie, if you're listening, you're a real one.
You are a real one.
That's what we're going to call the subscribers, the viewers. They're the real ones.
The real ones.
Yeah, the real ones. You guys are the real ones. But anyway,
I got a quick story I want to share.
Oh, sure, go right ahead.
So, we with my wife's friends, we do this thing called highs and lows every year that we do and we like videotape it or whatever, right? It's super fun. We've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
And so we're going through our highs and our lows. And then my high or whatever. And my low, I said when I rolled my ankle, that was kind of my low or whatever. And then someone looks at me and they go, "Not the Bears?" And I was like, and I took a second there.
Have you become like the guy?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Right. So like everyone knows like my identity's kind of like tied to the Bears. And like, and my response was, because it was like very in the moment, my response was that the Bears aren't permanent and I hope my ankle isn't either. Right. But because like and the reason I'm saying that is because I do think that this state that we're in right now is not permanent. I'm not saying there's some good, like, we won't talk about last week's game because it was atrocious and it was awful. The Thursday night game was
just another opportunity for the nation at large to realize what a train wreck the Chicago Bears are.
Oh my gosh, just like so bad.
At least we only allowed 6 points. That's kind of impressive. I'm sure most people are just like, wow, another fucking shitter Thursday night game.
So I looked at the weather and I bet the over. I was like, it's going to stop raining. I bet they're going to score some points. It was like 22 points. And I took the up. Like, there's no way
they don't, right?
There's no way they don't score 20 points, right? Nope. Anyways.
I made the mistake on an over on a Thursday night game. It was the Bears and the Commanders a couple of years ago.
Was it no, that was the Panthers game, the 12-9 game.
No, but this was like 2 or 3 years ago. I was at the game, and it was like the Bears. I thought they were really going to win, and the over was something gaudy, like 26 points. It's like, so I bet the Bears to win. I bet the over, and that's when I went on like a year-long hiatus in sports betting.
After that one,
I was just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm done.
Yeah, it stinks.
Yeah,
unfortunate, but that game was awful. But what I do want to call the attention was the one touchdown that did get called back, though.
Amazing throw.
I'm just saying, like there's these glimpses that get shown, and the holding call was egregious. Like I can't believe they made that holding call. Like,
you think it was a bad call?
Yeah, it was like how like.
I mean, it's one of those plays. Like they say, you can call holding on every single play. I mean, it was a holding. Like,
but the thing, like, do you remember when that play that the Kansas City Chiefs made? Like it was like Travis Kelce like made a lateral. They scored the touchdown, but they called the offsides and Kadarius Toney. And Travis Kelce he said this point, which I kind of agree with. It was like, how are you going to call an offsides on a play like that? Like, has no impact on the game whatsoever. Like, the holding call didn't impact that play, so why are you calling it?
It's hard to say it didn't impact the play. I mean, Caleb had to scramble because that guy got through. Like, so I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, it's boom boom. Like it
was a great play, though.
You're gonna go. It was a great play. It was a great throw. And Caleb has those plays.
And who else can make that throw in the league?
And he can make all the throws. You know who else we always say could make all the throws back in the day?
Mitch?
Jay Cutler. No, not Mitch. Mitch could not make all the throws.
What I'm going to say about Jay Cutler is his publicity, the publicity that he's, even after the DUI, it's just amazing. Like people are coming out, like Alshon Jeffries I just saw. He's like, he's the best quarterback I've ever played with.
Really?
Yeah, he just came out and said that.
Well, that's good.
I mean, like his publicity, like that video that they show when he ran over the guy, like, I'm Jay Cutler.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Like, yeah. There was like I think it might have been Barstool or something like that. Like, what's a hot Chicago sports take that you had? It was a couple of years ago, and one of the top ones was that they republished is like, we owe Jay Cutler an apology. And I felt so vindicated seeing that. I love Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
I think I love him less now. Now that he's just like kind of like this alt-right, like drunk driving, like
yeah, like
like
gun carrying.
divorced dad, like like it's I mean, but it's still kind of on brand for him, which is why people probably
very on brand.
I mean, like, it's not cool to get a DUI, but like I'm not surprised that Jay Cutler drives drunk and tries to pay off the cop. Like,
I can't believe it.
I'm like so not surprised by it. Like, it doesn't really faze me.
I can't believe it hasn't happened sooner. Like, to be honest.
No,
sorry, Jay.
The other cops probably took the bribe. Like,
Jay, you're a great quarterback, man. We really like you here.
We hope you're a real one.
Yeah, and I actually Jay, I was a little critical of you at the time, but like, bro, I'm with you.
No, like the thing about Jay is just like, and it was just always.
He didn't care.
No, it's not that he didn't care. First of all, he was hurt. He was a little fragile. And you know, these things happen. But whenever he got hurt, like the Bears were always hanging in there. The offense was doing just good enough. Yeah. And then he'd get hurt, and whoever backed him up couldn't do anything because he had bad offensive lines too. Jay was always running for his life, but he was a gunslinger. He wasn't afraid of like standing up in the pocket because he's a big dude, and making those throws.
He's athletic.
So like he wasn't losing games 6-3 because he wasn't like tucking the ball in these situations. Like he was gonna make that throw, and he was gonna throw a pick or he was gonna throw a touchdown. And when he threw the touchdowns, like things went well. But you know, so it goes. That being said, you know, like Caleb, we've been seeing flashes throughout the entire year. Do you see the miss on Roma Dunze? I mean, we can go either way. Do you see that play? So Roma Dunze, deep ball, wide open. Rome sat down in the zone. Caleb was expecting him to keep going, and you sailed the ball on him. And,
I don't remember that play exactly.
Yeah,
it was a few days ago.
Yeah, so I mean, we're 8 days post this game, so I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. Bears suck. Maybe we want to lose at this point.
I don't think it matters.
We can. So, anything else to say about this game? That's a good point to touch on.
What?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I do want to just say in general is that like the team is just they're going up to Green Bay this week. I'm going to the game. I'm very interested to see if they show up. Like, I get like losing on Thursday night to Seattle, like a 6-3 game. Like I get that, but like I don't know if it's just me or inside me, but like I just like I saw an interview with Jalen Johnson. He's the only Pro Bowler.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson, only Pro Bowler. Yeah.
I don't even know if he deserved it. No offense. But
in the last couple of games, it feels like he has not been as locked down as he was earlier in the season.
Agreed, but like I don't know if it's a rule. Like, do you remember like last year or 2 years ago when Connor Bernard made the NHL All-Star team?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember why?
Because every team needs to have a Pro Bowler. I don't think that's true. No, because there are four teams. I saw this. There are 4 teams that did not have a Pro Bowler.
Okay, so that's not true.
It's not true.
Okay, so Jalen Johnson did make it.
Yes.
Okay.
You do legit. Yeah, it's not like the NHL where every team has to have some sort of representative.
Yeah. Okay.
I wonder if that's true for the MLB too, but you didn't know that. There were 4 teams. I know the Jets were one of them. I'm pretty sure the Browns.
Aaron Rodgers didn't make it.
No, not. What do you?
Have you seen his Darkness Retreat thing on Netflix?
No. Oh no, I'm not watching. I'm not going to watch Aaron Rodgers' Netflix special.
Someone asked me like, "Have you watched it yet?" And I was like, "No." Like they're so surprised, and I was like, "Dude, why do I want to watch Aaron Rodgers do a bunch of drugs in the dark?"
If he was like good and like dark horsing his way into the playoffs and like was relevant in the sport right now, I'd probably do it just because like we do this. Great. But like Aaron Rodgers is not someone worth talking about as we just spend 30 seconds talking about Aaron Rodgers. But that being said, so the Packers.
Do you think they show up though?
No, I can't imagine a world in which they did. Like so we hung in the first round of division games. We hung in all 3 of those first games.
Yep.
But we've since gone back to Detroit, didn't show up. We've since gone back to Minnesota, didn't show up. I can't imagine the Packers, who I would imagine they're probably jockeying for seeding.
I don't think it matters.
I'm not sure if it matters either. Let's see here. So Packers 7th spot.
I don't think.
The Commanders are. I mean, they could probably move up a spot. How much of a difference does it really make? Because either way, you're either so if you're the 7th spot, you're going to be playing the Lions or the Vikings, dude, which I'm sure the Packers don't want.
It's crazy that like the Vikings are 14-2. Yeah, and are the 5 seed.
Whoever loses this game will be the best wild card team ever.
That's insane.
Yeah, so the Packers, the Packers, or the Commanders are going to play whoever that is.
It's a road game no matter what.
Yeah, but I think I'd rather play the Eagles than the Lions or the Vikings.
No, the Lions are going to get the first round bye.
Oh, you're right.
So, yeah.
So it would be, the 7th spot would play, am I correct with this? 7th spot would play the Eagles.
Yes.
Okay, versus the Rams. So, yeah, then absolutely.
Wait, go down, because there's 7 spots, right?
Yeah, the 7 spots. This is the 7th spot.
So who's the 2 seed?
The 2 seed is Eagles.
Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5.
4 is down here because it's not locked in yet.
Oh, yeah. I was like, where's the other spot? I see. My bad. I was confused.
So the 7 would play the Eagles versus the 6 playing the Rams, likely. Which, that's a huge drop. So this game does matter for the Packers if the Commanders lose.
Here's my, I'm gonna say my piece on it and let it go. So here's the thing, like, do you remember Detroit a few years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Right when MCDC was at the end of his first season. I think they played the Vikings, I think, or the Packers right before they went to the playoffs, and they played them they were out of it. They were completely out of it, and they played them so damn hard. I don't know if they won the game, but they got really damn close. That next year, that's when they caught fire, and they beat Kansas City week 1.
So, I mean,
I'm just saying, hang on. This is a type of game, though, that is the type of game that can set the tone and the momentum for next season.
I just don't think there's that rah-rah nature in the locker room right now to being like, hey, let's build on something.
This is Thomas Brown's last game as the head coach.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Other thing, these are all the positives that they have working for them. Caleb Williams had that streak of not throwing an interception. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Okay. The last play of the game.
On the last play of the game.
Last play of the game, he threw that pick, whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm Kale, I'm just going there slinging the frickin' rock.
That's what I thought last week was going to be, and it didn't work out that way.
Well, I agreed, but like this week, though, I think that the interception thing's gone. I think he just wants to go out and just sling it.
I think
why not just lay it all on the line?
I mean, I'd love to see it. So, what it comes down to is what should we be rooting for as Bears fans? At this point, do you even want them to win? Because we're worried more about draft seeding. Here's what I will say: the worst that could happen to the Bears if they win, they go down to 1 spot. So they go from the 9 to the 10. Granted, if they lose, they have the potential to jump 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, and maybe the Giants. No, probably not the Giants.
Schedule is
unfortunately, the Bears have such a good strength of schedule. They probably can't jump these teams unless they all win.
Shouldn't it be inverse? Teams with better strength of schedule.
No, because it proves that they're more miserable. The idea is to give the more miserable teams the higher draft pick.
Oh,
yeah, that's
because they're losing the worst teams.
So the Bears have, with the exception of San Francisco, the hardest strength of schedule at .555.
Gosh, that's awful.
Yeah, so the Bears don't have much that they could move up. All these teams, I looked into it, are playing teams that they're not probably not going to.
Isn't Jacksonville playing like the Vegas? Isn't Jacksonville playing? Aren't they playing each other?
I don't believe so. You want to look that up?
Yeah, I can look it up.
No, I think they're playing someone who's in the hunt, actually.
Maybe it was last week that they had. Jacksonville's playing Indy.
Well, Indy's out now, right?
Yeah, Indy's out now. Tampa Bay's playing New Orleans. Okay, so there's not.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of potential. So for me to say like, oh well, it'll hurt our draft, it probably won't that much.
Well, so Buffalo's playing New England. I'm not betting at all this week, by the way.
We can't pass New England. Well, we could. I guess we could pass New England. New England would fall far if they won, probably.
There's no way because we have the highest strength of schedule, like you already told me.
But New England beat us. I'm wondering if that matters.
No, it's just strength of schedule.
It's just strength of schedule?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That sucks.
It does.
Okay. So that being said, we lose this game.
Yeah.
It's 6 years since we beat the Packers.
That's officially.
It's egregious. And just looking at this, lost 10 games in a row, and we're still the 9 spots. It's miserable. It's miserable. It's a no-win situation. That being said, I hope that the Bears can pull it off, but they just have not showed me that they can. The last couple of weeks just have not been good.
So the spread, I think,
last couple of months haven't been good.
Dude, what do you mean last couple of months? We haven't been able to ring this goddamn triangle.
Your son is 0-9 since his birth.
Dude,
sorry, Bo.
It's fine, dude. He's fine.
Is he? He's not super distraught about it.
It's a 10-point spread.
10-point spread,
which is just awful.
In Lambeau, man. And like I said, the Packers have a lot to play for here. I'm sure they don't want that. To have to play the Eagles, as opposed to the Rams.
It's tough, man.
Yeah.
I'm struggling just like going back to like it being the worst part of 2024. Mm-hmm. like we had so much hype around this team this year, and like you said, like this time last year, at least we were like rooting for Carolina to get the number 1 overall pick. We knew we were going to get Caleb, and now we're here, and like everything that could go wrong for us this season went wrong. Like all our like we could do a recap later, but like it's tough, man. It's been a tough, and like I just hope that we do this process right. And like I heard the Giants just brought in Mike Vrabel as a head coach, potential head coach over there, and I'm like, not the Giants, the Jets maybe, and I'm like, I want Vrabel so bad, and like. So
Vrabel's your guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am. I think I will.
I haven't decided. We've already. I feel like the general like consensus of Ben Johnson has been, but it's also been soured by the fact that like we don't need that now the narrative is like we don't need an X's and O guy. We need someone who can build the culture in that room, which kind of feels like maybe more of Mike Vrabel's like way of thinking.
Not only that, but like I think here's where I'm at too. So I also believe in like the MCDC method. Like your head coach, it's like old school, but like I don't think your head coach should be calling plays. Like offense or defense. I don't know.
That works in plenty of situations.
Well, it works because it worked in LA with Sean McVay, and then it works
with Kansas City. Andy Reid.
Well, Andy Reid is the golden child, not child. He's the golden grandpa.
Yeah.
Andy Reid is just amazing. Okay, he's the exception to the rule. Like X him, but like I think that head coach should literally be the figure of the team, and he surrounds himself with coordinators. I think the Bears too often try and go and get coordinators and try to make them head coaches, and they're not head coaches. I want to get a guy who's been a head coach.
I think that's true of everybody. I feel like there's always like the coordinator who's done a really good job, but just can't make that leap to being the coach.
Hard. Yeah, it's like making the transition from a coordinator to a head coach is very difficult.
Yeah,
I want someone who already has the experience, and I don't want Pete Carroll who's 70-something years old.
I would like the idea of Pete Carroll more than Bill Belichick, but I agree with you. He's too goddamn old. Cliff Kingsbury, but his head coaching experience, I looked it up. He's 28-37-1 with the Cardinals. So 28-37-1.
That's not awful.
It's bad.
It's better than the Bears' record this year.
450.
It's better than Fluce's record.
It is.
I mean, come on, dude.
Poor Matt Eberflus might. I wonder if that's like exists in like the record books. Is he like the worst coach of all time?
It doesn't matter. He's getting paid.
Yeah,
boy.
He sure the hell is.
He is to do not. What do you think he's doing? I asked you this a couple weeks ago.
I'm sure he's just hanging with family. It's the holidays.
You think he's laughing when he's watching these Bears games?
No, maybe. I mean, I'm sure he's vindicated a little bit. He doesn't seem like a guy who's like letting it eat him up too much. I think he's just like, you know what? I took my swing. I made some money. I'm sure he's going to get a defensive coordinator job if he wants it. He'll probably take a year or two off, collect a paycheck that he's still making. I bet Flus will be back. He'll probably start off as like some sort of like defensive positions coach.
Okay, I got the information for you.
What information?
The most losing Bears head coach.
No, I'm sure it's Flus.
It's
Bears.
not.
Oh, really?
It's not Flus.
Okay.
So number 1 is Abe Gribron. Okay. Don't know who he is.
What decade is that from?
I don't know. It's not telling.
Okay, where does Flus line up in this?
Flus is number 3.
Okay. All right, so two people worse than him.
Do you know who number 2 is?
Who is number 2? Is it a name I recognize?
You would know him. Yeah, he was a former head coach.
Yes, he was.
It was before the Bears. Coached in 2 spots before that. He actually went to the Super Bowl 1 year.
I don't know.
2 years.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He was a bridge.
Oh, Mike Martz.
Close. He was offensive coordinator. He was offensive coordinator for the
John
Fox.
Fox.
Yes. Yeah, nice job, Johnny. There you go.
Took me a second.
Yeah, good work.
Was he worse? He was worse than Flus?
Yeah, so Flus had
How long was he a coach for?
Had a .304 winning percentage, and John Fox had a .292%.
Oh, man, I don't remember him being that miserable.
Oh, dude.
Wow.
I think he was the head coach right after Lovie Smith left.
Yeah.
And that's when they tore the whole thing down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, completely tore it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was awful. Really, really tough, though, man. I wonder if he's still getting his haircut. You think he goes into the facility to get his haircut?
Maybe. Yeah. Like, you ever see the John Mulaney bit where he was, like, super high and he walked into SNL headquarters when he wasn't working there anymore and just asked for a haircut?
No, I didn't.
You got to watch John Mulaney stand up.
It's good?
It's great. No, the one where he talks about getting sober, it's, like, it's really profound. Like,
really?
Yeah, as someone who, like, works with people who like deal with like addiction and things like that. His like perspective on it was like really interesting. It was funny, but I think just him talking about like him being like high,
Yeah.
being like a druggie, and then like getting sober in that process and going to rehab. It was pretty funny.
All right, so I'll check it out.
I think it's on Netflix.
Very interesting.
But yeah, so head coach, yeah, I agree with you. I think Ben Johnson. I don't think you can criticize the Bears if they land him. I think it would be a big ask. People are saying that maybe the Jaguars are a better position because they're also. I think they also fired or are going to fire their GM.
Oh.
And I think there's been some like murmurings out there that Ben Johnson wants a situation that's really crafted towards him.
Sure.
Which is annoying, because I don't know, what have you really accomplished at this point?
I mean, he's the guy. It's him and Joe Brady, I think, offensive coordinator for the Bills. But like, I'm on Mike Vrabel camp. Like, I know they don't want to like, and the reason why
they don't want another defensive guy, but
that's
but if Vrabel's got a guy,
yes, a coordinator.
But I heard that they were. I think it was Albert Breer was talking about who Mike Vrabel's guy would be, and it was something I can't remember the name now, but it was a bad take. They talked about it on Cap and J Hood, and they were just like, yeah, this guy can't be anywhere near this organization.
So here's the other thing I'm gonna say. What I'm realizing about there's ESPN Radio, they have more pull than you think. Like Cap and J Hood, like in the morning.
What do you mean?
Someone called in one time and they're like, I can't believe you're destroying like Fluce's reputation. You guys have all this pull and you don't even realize it.
I don't think that's true.
I think they kind of, but they're talking on the radio right now. I think Vrabel is the right head coach, and they're saying he's not because they want an offensive guy.
Yeah.
But I want a guy who's got former experience as a head coach. That's something. That's
I don't think they actually have pull.
Fine.
Here,
let me pose another question to you really quick. I want you to re-mock draft the 2024 NFL draft.
I can't do that.
No, I'm just saying, just 1-1. Do you take Caleb number 1 overall?
Yes, because I don't think that the Jaden Daniels looks so much better. I think unfortunately, it sucks because we thought Caleb Williams was going to be in the best situation of any number 1 pick ever. But the fact is, he's been sacked a million times. We saw C.J. Stroud kind of come back to reality. The same could happen for Jaden Daniels. I also don't know that if Jaden Daniels dealt with this kind of adversity. I think Caleb has handled it very well. So I'm not willing to trying to switch hands at this point.
Sure.
I'm still happy with riding out Caleb Williams.
Okay. Second question I got for you right now. So at 9, would you still take Rome Odunze?
Yeah.
Okay, let me throw
who?
Let me throw some names out for you.
Sure.
Brock Bowers.
Was he came after the fact?
Came after. Yeah, he got picked 13.
I mean,
so he broke the rookie reception record and yards record.
And Cole Kmet. I mean, hindsight is 20/20.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
You would take Brock over him?
I suppose I would. Yes.
Okay. What about Brian Thomas Jr.?
Brian Thomas Jr. Dude.
He's out. He's got like 1,100 yards receiving and 10 touchdowns. He is an absolute monster.
The Jags.
For the Jags.
Yeah. It's because there's nobody else there. I think Odunze. If Keenan Allen wasn't on this team, who's been soaking up just like a lot of Caleb Williams' targets, I think Rome Odunze probably is something closer to that.
Yeah, you think?
I like Rome. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen this guy. I haven't seen that guy in the Jags play, and I really don't feel like I've gotten to see like Rome show what he can do.
I agree. I haven't seen. I
just because it just feels like the play calling for the wide receivers is just atrocious. I feel like they don't do anything.
So like, agreed. Know what they do, Johnny? They do bubble screens.
Yeah.
They do. They know how to run bubble screens. Bubble screens, and they're really good at that shit. But hang on, I'm sorry. I digress. The reason I'm asking the question though is because like I feel like this draft actually is extraordinarily talented. This
coming draft. No, the
previous draft.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like
because all the quarterbacks have looked pretty good.
Yes.
Brock Bowers looks great. Malik Neighbors looks great.
Yes, Malik Neighbors look great. Penix looks pretty good too. Bo Nix looks good. Brock Bowers looks good.
I think at least the merits of 17 weeks into their rookie seasons, this draft looks really strong.
Dude, they're an amazing draft indeed. And like Rome, in my opinion, like is not like he he's not really doing a ton. I'm not criticizing him.
As a wide receiver 3 on an offense that has struggled, lost their offensive coordinator, and their quarterback is getting sacked a record amount of times, I think the jury's still out. I don't think I can confidently say, Brock Bowers,
Bowers,
yeah, you probably got to hold. You probably got to look at that. But in hindsight, is 2020. We had just paid Cole Kmet. We had big plans for him. Unfortunately, he's been a non-factor. And yet going back now, but in that moment, I don't think I would have. If you would have said draft Brock Bowers, he's going to catch 1,100 yards this year, I'd still might be like, well, we got Cole, and Roma Dunze might catch that, so I don't think I would have felt good about saying that.
It's a good answer, John. I was trying to trap you. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I was trying to get you to say the
opposite. Why are you trying to get me to say the opposite?
No, just to have it on video.
So you do feel that way?
I think I'd still take Caleb 1-1. I think Jaden Daniels, like similar to CJ Stroud thing, I think he's really hot right now, but let's see what he does in his sophomore season. I like Bo Nix a lot. I think he's phenomenal, but I also think he's came into a very good opportunity. But I would still take Caleb 1-1.
So this is who Mike Vrabel and
Josh McDaniels?
That's what they were thinking is Josh McDaniels.
Do you know who Josh McDaniels was?
I know who Josh McDaniels is. Yeah, he came out of the Patriots.
Yeah, former New England.
Yeah, and then he went to the Raiders as a fucking clown.
Yeah, anyone would be a clown in the Raiders. He's fine.
I don't know, man.
I fuck with Josh McDaniels. I give him another opportunity.
Not sure about that. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs.
Look at his. Can you look at his coaching? Where he's coached.
Coaching career.
He's pretty good on Wikipedia. They do a good job of. I'm surprised they haven't asked you for more.
Michigan State, and then New England, and then the Broncos.
Okay.
Named head coach, replacing Mike Shanahan.
Yep.
Did it say how he did?
Hang on, 4-year, $8 million contract. That's hilarious.
It's not very much money.
That's why it's really funny.
Videotaping scandal. Reported the Broncos run an investigation from the NFL after it was reported that the team's director of video operations, hired McDaniels in 2009, videotaped a San Francisco 49ers walkthrough practice during the team's Week 8. Blah, blah, blah.
So a lot.
Then he went to the Rams as their offensive coordinator. He returned to New England.
Yeah, I remember he came back to New England.
And then he went to the Raiders. His first win was a 33-23. Where's the records?
Here you go.
Head coaching record: 8-8, 3-9. Must have gotten fired mid-season. Yeah, fired mid-season. Interesting. And then Raiders 6-11, then 3-5, and then he was fired.
Doesn't mean he can't call the offense. This would just be an example of a coordinator that can't make the move to the off.
But also, the Patriots are just such an anomaly. He had Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. It's hard to just it's like Matt Nagy. It's like Matt Nagy. Patrick Mahomes and Matt Nagy worked with him. I don't know. I'm not sold. But anyway, whoops, wrong one. So
yeah, I like this idea. You kind of put it down me.
What?
By me. This idea. I like this.
Oh, you want to do it? Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to this. So what we want to do is me and Kevin are doing a $50 side bet for the rest of the playoffs. Basically, we're going to do a snake draft of all the teams that are still in the hunt or clinched, and whoever's team wins the Super Bowl wins $50. It works out that there are still 11 teams that are still in the running. Is
it 11? No, because
it's got to be
because there's 12 teams that make the play, or there's 14 teams that make the playoffs.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, are the Dolphins?
Dolphins are alive.
Dolphins are alive?
Yeah.
Did they win their division?
No, they can win. Not likely, but they can get in.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So it's 17, so it's an odd number.
Yeah.
The Bengals are very, very unlikely to make the playoffs. We both like them, so we're just going to, remove them. And if the Bengals win, we're just going to call it a push.
Yes.
How many fingers am I holding up? 1 or 2?
Love this game.
And you can decide if you want to pick first or second.
Yeah, 2.
It's 1.
Okay.
I'm going to pick second.
Yeah,
so you pick first.
I would have done 2.
So who do you think the favorite is?
I'm gonna go Kansas City.
Kansas City at the 1 spot
for the three, just because of the 3-peat.
All right. Lions. Lions are the obvious choice for me. I'm wondering if I should go someone out of AFC just to diversify a little bit here. Eagles. I've always kind of viewed the Eagles as kind of just being on flimsy territory if Saquon gets knocked out.
Yeah.
Who's the two? Is it the Bills that are the 2 spot?
Bills are the 2 spot right now.
I'm gonna go Bills.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna
that's
go
obvious.
Bills. All right, so you get 2 picks.
So, I mean, I took Kansas City because the 3-peats, they're undefeated, like they're unbelievable team. But like obviously Detroit and the Bills are.
There is another team that I was thinking after the Bills.
This is the playoff team. This is the team that we want to see. This is
This is a Super Bowl I want to see. That would be an awesome Super Bowl. I would love that shit.
Okay, so I'm gonna go as I look at the teams left here. So,
that's something we should do in the playoffs. Remember, like at some point, I think it was like in the championship round, we said like all the iterations. We said the one we will see, the one no one wants to see, the one everyone wants to see, and the one we will not see, or something like that. Yeah,
absolutely. So here, this is where I'm gonna go. So my next pick is for sure gonna be the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interchangeable. Like I'm very close to going with the Ravens over the Bills.
So the thing about the Ravens are though is that like they just totally collapse in the playoffs. But Lamar Jackson's playing MVP type of football. Like I like what they're doing. Defensive side of the ball. Derrick
Henry is a beast.
Yeah, Roquan Smith. Running that defense. Like I think Baltimore's got a great shot. But with that being said, I got 2 AFC teams here. I guess when I look at
you have to go NFC here, yeah.
I could, or I can just take all the AFC and just hope
it's an AFC winner. I don't think that improves your odds.
I agree. So looking,
especially because I feel like the NFC is stronger.
I know I like the Vikings a ton, but I don't know if Sam Darnold is going to continue this ride. The Eagles are the other top seed. Could go complete dark horse.
You don't need to go dark horse, man. You get more picks.
I know. You're exactly, yeah. All right, so I'll take the Eagles. That's fine.
The Eagles are the correct choice.
I know, they're the correct choice.
All right. So now we're starting to get in the weeds here. I think it's got to go Vikings.
Yep, that's Vikings. I agree.
And now we're really getting into the ones who don't feel like they actually have a legitimate chance of winning this.
I know who I'm taking if it gets to me. There's no question. I know who I'm taking.
Going Packers.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
You took the whole NFC North.
I did.
That was going to be my number 1 pick. Was going to be the Packers.
The good point about the NFC North is like all of the NFC North has played each other. So they've got some like good teams on the resume like that they've played. I'm not sure what the strength of the schedule is for everybody else. I'm pretty sure the Chiefs are below 500 in terms of strength of schedule.
Can the Bucks get in?
Yeah. The Bucks could also not get in, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Falcons and the Bucks. So those teams are still in the hunt.
Yeah. I want to take the Bucks.
Who else are we looking at in terms of like in the hunt here?
So in the hunt, Bucks and Falcons. Oh, so it's either Bucks
or Falcons, and then the Dolphins are on the bubble with the Broncos. So those teams are probably going to need to be like streamer picks here.
Yeah.
Because they're not for sure in.
All right, I know where I'm going here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna take. I know they're not in yet, but I got to take the Bucks. I'm loving the way they're playing. I know. I'm just.
I like.
Calling my shot on Baker.
We love Baker.
I'm calling my shot on Baker right now.
We do love Baker here.
Not only that, but Mike Evans is playing for that contract, so he's playing short. I think Chris Godwin's coming back soon. Bucky Irving's just running rampant out there.
Of these teams that are remaining, I do think that the Bucks are the most any given Sunday team where I feel like they could beat anybody on the right.
That's
day.
what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why it's like when I know they're not in the playoffs yet, but like looking at who I got left, like that's the team I like. I like them the most. And plus, like, I want to fucking root for the Bucks, man. How can you not want to root for them? Like Baker out there tossing in Zins on the sideline.
Fair enough.
I love it. All right, so next pick here. So Rams are in so Dolphins probably not making it. Broncos aren't in, but probably will be in. Rams are in. Falcons are probably not making it. Washington's in. I don't even want to touch Pittsburgh. Then we got the Texans, who I'm not huge on. And then Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. Let's take a gamble here. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll take Washington.
Washington?
Yep.
Okay, that's fair. But I don't think Washington was not going to be either of my next two picks.
It's fine.
I think it's the Rams.
Yep.
I think they've been there before.
Yep.
Matt Stafford playing pretty well. They're going to have they're going to have a home game to start because they're going to win their division, I believe.
Yep.
Right? That's a lock.
They
They got that.
Third seed.
And then after that, I think
I know.
I don't like Houston.
Yeah.
I don't like the Steelers for the reason that everyone else is kind of a streamer at this point.
Yep.
So
that's fine. Right.
I do feel like that Harbaugh can keep the games close enough where it's any given any given Sunday. You never know.
Okay, so you made it easy for me. So I'm gonna take the Texans.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yep.
So I got to pick two of the streamers.
And then I get one more pick here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I mean, it's got to be the Steelers, right? Unless you want to go with one of the streamers.
Yeah, but I just kind of want to bet on Bo Nix, honestly.
Okay, that's fun.
And
the Broncos are pretty much a lock, right? I mean,
so if they lose,
the Broncos have currently 83% chance. If they lose, they still have a 22%. I think if they win, it's greater than 99%.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll run it with Bo.
I like that. That's more fun. I think that probably the likelihood is just as good as the Steelers. So I'm gonna go Steelers.
Michael Penix. I mean, these are both teams that are basically out. So
I'm gonna go with the AFC team just because I feel like the AFC is more wide open.
That's fine. I'll ride with Penix. Maybe Kirk Cousins gets out. So all right. I like that. All right, that's cool.
All right, so let's take a screenshot of this.
I obviously had the number 1 overall pick, and I took KC. So that's the easy one. But I feel
I don't think I would have taken KC the number 1 overall, man.
They win.
They do win. They've only lost one game. That's crazy.
The NFL has a vested interest in a 3-peat.
I just don't believe that that's a real thing. I can't wear my tinfoil hat on that. I just don't. I mean, I think they're a good team. I think the AFC is weak. So taking the best team in the AFC, I guess it makes sense.
What do you mean? They got the Bills and the Ravens.
That's true. Yeah, no, I mean, yes. I mean, don't talk me out of your way of thinking just because you think the NFL is going to rig it for the Chiefs.
Do you want to switch?
I don't.
Yeah.
Is there anybody you want to trade?
Ooh. I'd love one of your NFC North teams. Any of them.
I will give you the Vikings.
Okay.
For the Eagles and the Ravens.
2 for 1. Oh, go fuck yourself.
Well, no, I'll give you the Vikings and the Chargers for the Eagles and the Ravens.
Nah, I'll pass on that.
You have a counter offer?
I want the Lions.
I'm not kidding.
Just hear me out.
Okay, all right.
It's Lions and Rams.
Lions and the Rams.
For the Ravens and the Bucks.
Counter to that, I'll give you the Lions and the Steelers for the Ravens and the Bucks.